both be
Welcome
muted.
to Heal Dish, the space where healing gets real and you don't have to have it all together to grow. Each week we explore the nervous system, emotional resilience, and the journey from surviving to thriving. You're not broken, you're healing, and you don't have to do it alone. This is Heal Dish. Let's begin.
Welcome to Heal Dish, everyone. I am your host, Gina. Thank you so much for being here. We are trying something new here at Heal Dish. Normally, we just go live on Monday evenings at 7:30 Eastern Standard Time, and I want to start doing more lives. I want to start doing more raw, real mental health and trauma discussions. I want to start doing more of the NeuroSomatic Art, which is a healing modality. And then I really want to start doing some God Christian discussions. And so I am amping up from from doing my podcast from 1 day a week to really implementing it to do 4 days a week. And so I'm slowly implementing days because if you know anything about full-time podcasting, it is very time consuming. By the time you get on here, you do everything, you're doing your editing and really sending it out. And so I appreciate each and every one of you for being here today. And so today I have the honor of introducing one of my colleagues, Tina. And Tina is going to do she's going to be one of my coaching clients today. And I'm going to walk her through a neurosomatic drawing today. And so you will get the honor and the privilege to actually see what it's like. So if you're ever interested in doing anything somatically with NeuroSomatic Art and working with me or anything like that, you can actually see. And, coming from me, I can sit here and talk to you about NeuroSomatic Art all the time. But it's different when there's somebody else on the other side and you can actually see them working and how it's actually working for them and things like that. So I would like to take a minute and introduce again to Tina. So welcome, Tina. Thank you so much for being here.
I'm so excited to be here. I can't wait what's going to come out of this.
I'm so excited. So tell us a little bit about yourself.
Okay, so I am a certified trauma recovery coach, and I absolutely love journeying with others, but I feel very much the burden for us as coaches to continue our own processing, our own healing, and so I'm always ready to show up in spaces like this.
Absolutely. I appreciate, I'm going to adjust my camera. I appreciate that very much. And so if you don't know what neurosomatic art is, I'm not going to get into that here, but if you go to my website, it's artoftransformation.life. There's a lot of great information about what neurosomatic is. But in a nutshell, it is a subconscious reprogramming. It's a rewiring, reconnecting, of your neural pathways. And so we use that and I use that for trauma and mental health. And it's been a staple, not only for myself, my clients, but I use it in my family as well. And so we are going to get started. If anybody would like to draw with us, you're more than welcome to. But my focus is going to be on Tina asking her questions, reflection questions, and you'll just see how the process is just beautifully played out. And hopefully, Tina will be able to share some of the insights that she has. And so the first thing that we do is on your piece of paper, Tina, if you would write today's date.
Does it matter where?
Nope, just anywhere on there. And I'm going to get my timer up while you're doing that. And then once you write the date, the framework that we're working on is Neuro Reveal. If you'll write that. And then this is a revealing framework. So you can just put revealing. So then you have an idea. This one here, we don't start off with a topic because it is more of a revealing framework. And so what we're doing is why we're doing this is to reveal something in our lives, whether it's something that's hindering us as a limitation, a block. Maybe we're looking to go to the next level and we're like, I don't know what to do. And so what happens is the neurosomatic drawing will hopefully pull out those answers for us as we're doing this. All right. And so you have all of that. All right. So now what we're going to do is we are going to do a 1-minute brain warm up. And what this is basically, do you have a pen? Are you using a pen or are you using a Sharpie?
Well, it's an art pen. Should I use
Okay.
a regular pen?
If you would use a regular pen for this, just for this, it would probably be easier for you. We're going to write words just for this part of it. If you have a regular pen that you can grab or a pencil, whatever you'd like to choose.
I got it.
Perfect. All right. And so what you're going to do is I'm going to set my timer for 1 minute. You're going to write down any and every word that comes to mind. It doesn't matter if it could be goofy off the wall. It doesn't matter. Any word that comes. So in 1 minute. So get ready, set, go. All right. And then what I want you to do is count your words and tell me how many you have.
15.
15. That's good. If we would have done it for the two full minutes, you probably would have had double that.
Mercy.
So that's good. That's good. All right. Do you have any idea what you, even though this doesn't have a topic, are you looking? What are you looking to reveal? Do you have any idea of where you're going as far as what you're looking for answers for?
Yes. So
Okay.
I, as a coach, it has taken a long time for me to really come out and be public with my purpose, my call, and I have. I'm still working on, what I'm offering to the world and all of that, and there's all these doors opening for me to go here and go there and speak. But there's still there's still this reservation, like, even though all these doors have opened, even though I'm starting to say yes, it's like I'm like, oh, I don't want to do this. Like, I don't know about this. But then there's also this overwhelming, yes, I want to go, I'm ready, I'm leaning in, let's do it,
Yep.
And so I've held back for a long time, for many years actually, and I want to be able to go full in. People say do it scared, but I
Yes.
feel we got to get to a place where we move past the scared, and it's you're living in courage, and so yeah.
Absolutely. That's yes. And I love that for you. I love, even though, I love that you're here because you are trying to step out and do more. You've been doing more videos, which I
Yeah.
love the inspirational part of you doing your videos and just motivating other people. And I'm hoping that, when you do this drawing today, that there'll be more revealing as far as what is going on. Maybe something that you need to revisit, something that's coming up that, unfortunately, it's kind of nice, but unfortunately it does stink when we get to a place like this and we're like, okay, why is this happening? But I'm hoping that, as we do the drawing, that some things will be revealed, and you'll be able to take that and those will start working for you to overcome whatever it is that's kind of hindering you from really stepping out, and in full sunshine.
Yes.
All right,
Thank you
you
for
ready to
that.
get oh, you're welcome. You're welcome. So now that you brought that up, I want you to go back and look at your words. Is there any, and Is there any of your words that really stand out, that maybe is more of a limitation, a block, of anything that you would
No.
think? Okay. Okay.
Actually, no. Everything,
Mm-mm.
it's crazy. Everything that I wrote down is about me leaning in. Everything.
Oh, wow. See?
Willing, surrendered, creative, honored, leaning in, happy, found. Well, there's one word that's very different than all the rest, and that's crazy. So I don't know if maybe that's the if that's the word that I need to hone in on.
Well,
Like,
crazy
this is
doesn't have to be
crazy.
yeah, I was gonna say crazy doesn't have to be a bad thing, but and stuff. But that is see, that's just how it goes when you intuitively start writing things and then you're just writing whatever and you're like, wait a minute, that doesn't fit the puzzle. Like, why is that? Why? And it's interesting because there's times I do it and all of a sudden for some I'll be like blue cow moon. And I'm like, where did those even come from? And I have no idea. But it's just interesting when you do those warm ups, the brain warm ups, exactly what comes out. And so I'm hoping, as we do this, you'll start getting some insight as far as what's going on, and things like that too. So, all right.
Great.
Now you will flip your paper over and grab your marker that you were using.
Okay.
Did you watch the video so you knew? Well, I mean, I know you've practiced before on how to do your intuitive lines and things like that. And
Yeah,
things
but
like
now I have a
that.
clearer understanding after watching your video. And what I was doing was nothing like what you said to do.
Good, good. No, that's all right. And I tell people all the time, it takes practice because
Yeah.
before, like my lines, I go back to when I first started, my lines were like, I was like, oh man, my line. And now it's just, I just do them and my hand just kind of goes. I mean, and you can see like, it's just like, whoop. And I'm like, people like, can't you draw a straight line? I'm like, not when I'm doing this anymore. Like it has to have some fluff to it, kind of
Yeah.
like the clouds and things like that. So, all right. So what I want you to do is we are going to start from left to right. We're going from the past to the present. If you feel the need to go back, that's fine. You might have some resistance if you need, and that could be something that's going to reveal something. Most of the time, generally, when we do these drawings, we always go from left to right because we're going from the past to the present moment. And so we don't like to live in the past. We're trying to get in through everything and then into the present moment, into the future and things like that. And so when you're ready, I would start drawing your intuitive lines.
Okay.
When you feel, because this is probably going to be about, we'll just say a half hour. I know we were talking and stuff like that. We'll give it about a half hour, 45 minutes. If you start feeling overwhelmed, if you start feeling like, oh, I don't know, there's too many lines, make sure that you stop and round. Your body's trying
Okay.
to tell you that there's maybe some conflict, some tension, some chaos going on. It just doesn't like it, and you need to round. And so, depending on how many intuitive lines you do, if you maybe do 3 or 4 and they all intersect, then I would take a moment and I would round those before you begin. That's what I would do if that's what you choose to do. If you continue to do your intuitive lines and you're like, I don't want to round right now, that's perfectly fine. You don't have to round right now. Some people, they just were like, whoa, wait a minute. I have this overwhelmed feeling. I have to round, and that's okay too. Even if you round, we'll still be able to see where the lines intersect, and you'll still
Okay.
be able to put your circles where where they're supposed to go.
Got it.
And so whenever you're ready, I want you to start drawing your intuitive lines.
And I just want to question from when
Cool.
you had mentioned from past to present. So I never go back to the start. Once I get to the other side, where do I restart? Or am I
You do.
connecting?
Nope. So you will continue. So when you draw your first one from the past to the present, you're
Yeah.
going to continue to do that. All your
Okay.
lines will start. Yep, yep. Because remember, lines, your intuitive lines are your thoughts.
Okay. I got
And
it.
so we might not know what they are right now, but whatever's going on, we're trying to go from the past and bring them into the present moment so we can clear up what's going on.
I got it.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
All
And
right, so
whenever you're ready.
let's begin.
All right. And one of the things, just make sure you take your time. It's
Got it.
more about, just taking your time, letting your hand kind of free flow as you're drawing your intuitive lines. And as you're drawing your lines, do you have any thoughts that are coming up as you're drawing your lines?
I guess I have the idea that I don't want to resist.
Okay. Yep.
Yeah, I don't want to resist. I want just for whatever needs to happen to happen.
Okay. I like that.
I have to say, it's very relaxing.
It is. And I will let you decide how many intuitive lines you want to draw when you feel enough is enough.
Is there a thing about thinking too much about it?
No, I think sometimes we do get in our heads and we're like, oh, because it's the first time. And I mean, I guess I was like that too. Like, oh my goodness, like I'm not what's coming up. And in this one, sometimes we don't have things that come up. And sometimes we want that more than anything. And it's
Mm,
like, wait a minute, sometimes it doesn't. It takes a little while for the subconscious to kind of break through and reveal things to
yeah.
us. And sometimes it's like, okay. And as you're doing the lines, sometimes it is hard to allow them intuitively because sometimes our brain, we think, oh, no, there's resistance and it's pushing through that resistance to say, no, I'm okay. I'm safe. I can get to the other side of this.
Hmm. I think I'm done.
Oh, that looks very nice. Very nice. Yep. Okay.
So at this point, it's closing up the crosses.
So you have two options.
Okay.
You can look at where your intuitive lines intersect, and you can draw circles around those areas,
Okay.
or you can round first. Um, you're going to have to round the circles into place as well. So it just depends on what you would like to do. Some people like to round, then do the circle and round. But
Okay.
yep, whatever you would like to do.
Just to give an example like that.
Yes. Yep.
Okay.
Yep. And how do you feel are you going to do circles for your circles now?
I think
For all of
so.
them? Okay. All right.
Is that okay?
Yep, that's fine. Yep. I just needed to know which way I was going with my questions.
And with the circling, does it matter how big your circles are? How
Nope. Nope. You just do it
just however?
however you would like. Yep. And one thing I do want to tell you is if you do, you can have circles that come off the page. So if you start at the top of your page and it's like a half circle, the
Yeah,
brain still sees it as a whole circle. It just means it's too big for the page. Same
got
thing
it.
if you did it on the side or the
Got
bottom.
it.
Yep. Yep.
Okay.
That sounded like a big circle.
That was
How did it feel to draw that one?
great, actually. It feels like there's a major, um, there's something about this area.
Okay. Yep. That's the one that's kind of in the center off
Yeah,
to the side a little bit.
there's a
Okay.
lot
Yep.
of intersection there.
Okay.
Yeah, that's good. You can hear.
Yes.
Hmm. And I just noticed one that I didn't even notice before. Here I am.
Ooh. So I'm interested to figure out what that big circle is because I like how I'm sure that you drew that big circle and then you drew the other three. Am I correct?
Yeah.
So it's kind of like I don't know. We'll figure that out, but it's kind of looks, whatever it is, kind of like whatever, and what comes up for me is protection, protection, and it's kind of like you got 1 foot in and 1 foot out.
Interesting.
Yeah, yeah,
You're right.
yeah, yeah,
Interesting. That's kind of
yeah,
like what we were explaining a little bit earlier,
yeah,
like so willing, so ready, but then there's major reservation.
yep, yep, yep. And maybe that's yeah. And so hopefully that we'll discover what that is because that's
Another thing,
interesting.
and I don't know if it's one out, one in, or these are trying to escape out of the big circle.
Oh, see, yeah, and that could be.
Don't know.
No, see?
Interesting.
Yeah, it is, and I love that. I love how you said that too, because that could be what it is.
Yeah.
Okay,
Okay.
beautiful, beautiful. All right, so now what you're gonna do is you're gonna go back in and you're gonna start rounding.
Okay. Got it.
And rounding doesn't have to be perfect. It's not about perfection, it's about progression. So if you make some oops, it's all right. Don't worry about it.
Okay. And I'm drawing with a gray. Is it okay?
Yep.
Okay.
And so this is the part of the process as we're doing the rounding. This is the part of the process where we start smoothing out the conflict, the tension. We start creating new neural pathways. We start creating new opportunities for growth and development and transformation. And so that's during this process right here that we're working in the subconscious area. And
Okay.
what I'm talking, why I'm talking, I know it kind of stinks, but when you're doing it by yourself and stuff, it really helps. But what we're doing is we're working in the subconscious right now, and what we are doing is smoothing out all of that to give you more opportunities to open more doorways um, instead of having all of those sharp edges and those intersections and everything like that. It's smoothing out to give you more opportunities, and so it's in this moment this is where your neural pathways are rewired, reconnected, repaired in this process right now.
Okay. And it's interesting. I'm noticing as I'm doing this that there's actually more intersections that I didn't see. Are the circles a part of that?
The
Because the
circles are part
circles,
of the intersections?
yeah,
No. So yeah. So when you drew the circle, you probably created more intersections is probably what you did. And that's all right.
got it.
So how are you feeling as you're rounding?
It's very soothing. Like I actually have tingles, like if somebody's playing with my
Mm,
hair, which is pretty interesting.
yes. Are you feeling them all over your body?
Yeah.
Okay.
Like what really? It's here, actually. It's
Okay.
right here.
Okay. Top half.
That's so neat you get to do this on your own time and when you're with clients.
I love it.
I think I've completed them.
Yep. Okay. So now what I want you to do is you need now go back in and round all the circles into place. You rounded the lines or the intuitive lines. You did all of the intersections. Now you need to go back in and round all of the circles into place.
Round the circles into place. Now that one I don't remember.
Okay. Yep. So let me show you. Um, okay.
Oh, like where these meet?
Yes. Do you want me to show you on a piece of paper real quick?
I think so. I think that'll be helpful.
Okay. I'm just going to do a circle and then I'm going to do a couple lines through it and then you'll have an idea instead of me flipping my camera.
Sure.
Give me just a second. Let me round some of these into place. This isn't going to be the greatest looking. It's going to be kind of trying to do this as fast as I can. So wherever the outside of your circle meets, so it'd be like this one here.
Oh,
So wherever your lines meet on the outside, so
I got
chances
it.
are you're just going to do the outside of your circle.
I got it.
Yep.
Okay. Okay.
Which one did you start with first?
There was 2 circles on top.
Okay.
Look like 2 eyeballs.
Okay. And how do you feel rounding those?
Like somebody's looking at me.
Okay.
Interesting.
Yes.
I did something like this. Not this exact, but because I was trying to learn.
Yes.
And I had 2 eyes in the other one as well.
Did you?
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm going to make note of that.
Yeah. And I have a feeling I know what that might be.
Okay. Do you feel comfortable sharing with us?
Sure. Because of my own childhood trauma, I noticed that I definitely still scan very much on how others feel. I watch other people's body languages. I'm always wondering, like, okay, how are you viewing me? How are you taking me in? So in a way, there is this thing of caring what others think, how
Yep.
they feel about what I might be saying, how I might be acting. Is it acceptable? Am I belonging here in this place? Yeah, that's what I'm equating this to,
Okay.
which could be the case.
Yes. And so I'm going to put this up here and then read it. So this is actually my husband. He's in here watching. Well, he's not in here watching us, but he's watching the live. But he said what he got was, that's the crowd looking at you as you speak, and you are taking control of the situation.
Interesting. I appreciate that.
And I appreciate you sharing that, because it goes back to, you know, exactly what you just said, whether, that is, it sucks that we had to endure what we did,
Yeah.
and learning to overcome those things. Um, but it's interesting to me that in your other drawing and then this drawing, there's two eyes as well. And, the eyes are on you. So it's kind of looking at, why are the eyes on you? And it does. I mean, it makes sense with what you have gone through, of why the eyes would be on you. Why are people scanning you?
Mm.
Why are they looking at you? What is it about you?
Hmm. Hmm.
But see, you see it as, because of things that you've gone through. Of course, what do others think about me? What are they saying about me? And it, but looking at it from an outside perspective, you could
Mhm.
walk in a room and you could shine. You could be shining, but because of the things that we've gone through in life, we're always thinking, oh, is somebody talking about us? What are they saying? What are they?
And that causes you to retract and stop
Yeah.
shining.
Yes.
You
Yeah.
want to hide, you want to isolate, you don't want to go
Mhm.
public.
Nope, you don't. And so,
Mhm.
I really appreciate you giving us that insight, because, if that's truly what's happening, that's a revealing part of what's coming out in the drawing for you. Maybe that's a part of why, like we've discussed previously, when you and I have just talked one-on-one,
Yeah.
of, this is a part of really revealing something. Those two eyes mean something. And it's saying, okay, let me try to shift my perspective.
Hmm.
I know that's hard. Don't get me wrong. I know that's hard. It's easier said than done. Walking in a room and thinking, oh, am I here to shine, or what am I doing? Like, why am I here? I get it. And things like that too. But I'm glad that um, that something came up for you in that moment, to say, okay, I think this is what I'm feeling. This is
Yeah.
what these eyes mean for me. And now maybe you have validation that this is maybe, something else that still need to work on a little bit.
Yep.
But always remember, though, but I am going to go back and shine this light on you. But look at, even though this may be coming up, but look at what you're doing. Look at
Yes.
look at the other things. Look at the videos you're creating. Look at
Yeah.
the content. Look at the things you're doing. And
Yeah.
so there's a lot of things that you're doing, that you're coming out of your light, or coming out of your shell into the light. Sorry.
Something else just popped in my mind as you just said that. Um, it could also be inner critic.
Yes.
The judgmental
Yep.
one, the
Yeah.
judgmental part.
Yep. Oh, that thing always likes to show up and rear its ugly head.
Interesting.
Yep.
So I just want to make sure I did this correctly.
Yep. Yep.
These two met, and then in here, or in here.
Yep. So you still have more to do. Do you
Oh,
see?
where at?
So your
Like
big
all of these?
circle, Yep. You have to do all of those lines all around the whole circle. Yep. Yep.
Got it.
So my husband said, on the outside looking in perspective, I've dealt with my own trauma. So he's trying to look at, give us a different way, which is good.
Yeah. Thank you for joining us, by the way.
Yeah, he's usually in here on my today he had the day off, so he probably wouldn't have been in here, but it's always a blessing to have him on my Mondays. He's in here as my moderator and things like
Love
that
it.
too. So yeah. And when you get to the big circle, when you start rounding it, let me know, unless you're there already.
I'm there now.
Okay. Because that's the one I'm kind of curious about.
There's a lot going on in there.
Yeah. So what's coming up for you as you're rounding that one?
I don't know why, but every time I'm rounding, I get this whole tingly feeling thing.
Okay. Okay.
I
That's
don't
all
know
right.
why. I have no clue why that is, but yeah, but I don't know.
Do you still feel it in the top half, the head and the torso? Is that where you're feeling it still?
Yes, it's here, but it also in my arms,
Okay.
my legs.
Okay.
Yeah. It's really interesting. Would those be considered endorphins?
So it probably is, but what I like to associate those with is that you are feeling this tingly. It's part of somatics, and so whatever's going on, um, whatever's going on in that circle is causing that somatic reaction within your body, and so you're feeling it within your body to show whatever's in that circle. That's where it's at.
Wow.
Yeah. Do you have words written inside of your circles? We had a question. Somebody was asking.
Oh, I don't. Should I?
Okay. No, you don't have to.
Oh,
Sometimes, yeah, you don't have to. The only time you'd probably ever do, I mean, if something came up and you're like, oh, I know what this circle is, and then you could write whatever it is in there if you'd like. So, yeah.
actually, I would like to write in their inner critic because that's what really sticks out more than anything.
Yeah. You're more than welcome to.
With the eyes,
Yes.
inner critic and judgment of others.
Okay.
That's a whole lot of judgment. You have
It is.
personal judgment and then judgment of others. That's a ton of judgment. That'll cause somebody to retract in a corner somewhere.
Mm-hmm. Yes. And as you're rounding, do you have any thoughts that are coming to mind that you'd like to share? If not, it's okay too.
Yeah, not currently. I'm just very interested in this these three circles coming out of the big one. And then there's two that are just held very closely at the center,
Yes.
like tightly together, like twin sisters.
Yes.
Which
That's what
is
I thought was interesting.
Yeah.
So then Sly says, going back, he said, that's why you should always love yourself and never worry about what others say or feel towards you. I always tell him, he means well. I always tell him, I'm like, honey, Sometimes we can't do that. Sometimes we do care too much. Sometimes it's like, what do you care? I shouldn't care, but then it's like, then you do care. It
Yeah.
is tough. It's tough. Especially when you have gone through times in our lives that we weren't given a choice and a voice, and
Correct.
and our voice wasn't heard, and we were called things and things like that too. And sometimes it's hard to break out of that shell and say, "Here I am."
Mm-hmm. Either you love me or you don't.
Yep, yep, exactly. But then again, it goes back to exactly like you said, the inner critic, self judgment, things like
Yeah.
that. It's always there.
This is amazing, actually.
Thank you.
Hmm.
I'm glad. He said it. I never said it was easy. He said it's something you have to learn. I never said it was easy. No, it's not easy. But I do agree. Learning to, accept yourself and love yourself, I think, is key. And I think that was one of the things that really helped me was learning to accept myself, flaws and all.
Yeah.
And that helped me understand the perfectionism that I had, and overcoming a lot of those types of things. Now I can't say like there's not like, oh, somebody's, this and this, but um, it's just one of those things like, okay, I'm at the let them stage.
Mm-hmm.
Are you getting anything as far as what you think those smaller ones are?
No. Would you like to look?
Oh yeah, I think you got it all. I think you did pretty good. Um,
Oh, I haven't done these. I just realized. Whoops.
oh yep. And then if you look at your one that looks like the two eyeballs,
Mm-hmm.
you missed. Yep, you missed a couple on. You missed that line go up. You missed that
Right
little
here.
bit. Nope, not there. Uh,
Here.
that line's around it. It's right in the center of the bigger eyeball looking one.
The bigger. This one.
Yep. So
Oh,
that line,
here.
right, yep. So there's that line there, and then it goes across.
Here.
It needs to be rounded
Oh,
too,
yes.
down
Okay.
there, and then the line that goes across it, right where your finger is. But
Right here.
go up to the next line.
Right
Yep.
here.
Nope. You
Uh,
keep going right over the line. It's right. It's right. Yep, that one right there. Going
right
across.
here.
Going across, you'll see it.
Got it.
Yep. Just a couple
Okay.
more.
Oh, yes. I see.
Smoothing out all that conflict, all that tension. We want to get it out of there as much as we can. We want your drawing to be smooth. Are you still up in that top corner?
No, I actually dropped into the big circle.
Okay.
Am I moving too quickly?
No, no, you're fine.
I was just thinking, but even I'm noticing even when I question, like my questions, I want to make sure I do this right.
Yep.
Am I doing it fast? Do I need to do this better?
Nope. I think that goes back to part of the perfection. Am I doing it right? Am I doing it correctly? Am I going too fast?
Mm-hmm.
And that's why I like to start off and tell people, it's all about progression, not perfection. But
Yeah.
sometimes in the moment, what ends up happening is that because we're so used to being doing things fast and
Yes.
constant that we don't sit and take time to do it slow. We're always so quick. We always want to get something done quick. And as you learn to lean in, and as you learn when you're drawing, as you're doing the intuitive lines, because I'm sure you'll continue to probably use this one. As you
Yeah.
continue to do it, you'll notice that you slow down and you actually, I'm not saying that you're not appreciating what you're doing,
Yeah.
but you
Yeah.
actually sit down and start appreciating it more every time you draw. Because what's going to happen is you're going to slow down and you're going to realize you're slowing down and go, wow, like I'm really taking a moment to slow down. I'm not
Yeah.
zipping through this. And so it's a really cool process when you do that. Because I did when I first started, I zipped through. I zipped through, do all my lines, boop, I was done. I was like, whoa, wait a minute. Like, oh yeah, okay, I don't like that. That looks kind of crappy to me.
Yeah.
But then the more I started doing it, the more I started realizing, oh, I'm going fast. Why am I going fast? What is that mimicking for me? Well,
Yes.
what mimicked in my life was that I didn't want to sit down and relax. I was always on the go, 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 go because I
Yeah.
didn't want what was happening up here. I didn't want to think about anything.
Hmm.
And now that I've been doing it, it's reconnected my mind and my body together. And
Wow.
so I have that connection. And so the insights that I'm getting, I'm like, holy mackerel. Like it's amazing. But just remember it's all about progression. Don't worry about the perfection because you're going to look at that drawing, I'm sure, and you're going to be like, man, I probably could have did this different. I could probably, oh yeah, I really need to work on my rounding. Don't be self-critical. And I know you're
Yeah.
going to be, we're human.
Correct.
Think of it like this. This is your first drawing. It's not gonna be perfect. We're not looking for perfection. It's
Yeah.
about progression. It's about looking at this as your first drawing and then looking at it if you're doing it again and you might do just say 10. And then you go back and compare number 10 to number 1 and you're like, wow, look at the progress that I've made.
Mm-hmm.
That's what it's about. That's
Got
what it's
it.
about. Yep.
Hmm. I do also notice that
So as you look at it, what do you
I'm spending a lot of time here, and these two are just free, free thin lines. Yeah.
Yep. I know that's interesting, isn't it? Kind of makes you wonder why those two are just kind of hanging out.
They're good.
Yep, they're like, "Hey, we're just here for support."
Ah. That was good.
Yep, yep, yep.
Hmm. I think I might be done.
Okay. Yep, very nice. Yep,
Mhm.
looks good. And you may notice you might go back through it again after, and you might be looking at it and say, "Oh, I wanna," A lot of people, they'll go back through it and they'll go back over their intuitive lines and they'll round a little bit more, and that's perfectly fine too. And things like that as well. And so as you look at your drawing, what do you feel? How do you feel? And sometimes it's even good. I will tell you another kind of another trick. Hold your drawing up in front of you like this, because it's going to change the perspective. So as you look at it like that, what changes?
I'm unsure. I don't know.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm kind of wondering if the big circle, initially, it looked like 1 foot in, 1 foot out, or possibly these three trying to get out of the big circle.
Yes.
But now, after closing things up, they look like two little eyes.
Yep.
So I don't know now.
Yeah. Yeah. So really looking at it, and maybe that's something, what are those, if we see them as eyes, what are the eyes trying to reveal to you? What is it within that moment? Is it saying, you know what, all eyes are on me and now it's my time to shine, looking at it from a different perspective and saying, okay, it's my time to shine.
That is a different perspective rather than looking at it negatively.
Yes.
That's true.
And I know it's hard. Yeah. And I know it is hard. I know it's hard, when we have gone through, again, the things that we've gone through, to come out and not care what people have said about us and things like that too. Or again, walking into a room and, and looking at it. Okay. Am I here? I'm here to shine, but what is it that people may be saying about us? But then it's going back in and saying, okay, what is it? Who are you?
Yeah.
Who are you? Whose daughter are you?
Mm-hmm.
And then finally realizing, what, in time, as you start doing things and finally saying, you know what, those types of things don't matter.
Yeah.
Takes a while. I mean, but that's to the point. That's why I said I'm at that let them phase. Let them not invite me. Let them talk about me. Let me, whatever. But I still have a part of me. So I emphasize with you, because I still have a part of me that, as I have empathy, because I so badly want to go live on TikTok, because I don't that I have a large audience there, but that inner critic gets in there and says, oh, people are going to downgrade you. People are going to talk crap about you. And I'm like, yeah, I probably shouldn't go live on TikTok. So I totally understand where you're coming from. But then I'm like, you know what? I'm representing. Who am I representing? Like, I'm representing the trauma community, but I'm representing God as well. And, God's going to send not God, but, the enemy's going to send his minions in to try to keep us in that ruminating, those negative thoughts, that negative ruminating. I'm like, okay, I still haven't gone live yet. But I'm like, oh, I will one of these days. I will. And so it's looking at it. I try to look at things from a different perspective, because I had a lot of negative thinking, and I held a lot of shame, a lot of self-doubt. I didn't love myself. And all of those things. And, and as I grew closer to God, and I know as a Christian woman, that's where you are, growing closer to God and trying to get out of these things. And I remember God said to me, Jean, you're going to be, it's you against a million. And I thought, what on earth does he mean? Like, me against a million? But I see it. Like, I literally see it. It's me against a million, meaning I can talk to you till I'm blue in the face, but I may not win you, but I can plant those seeds.
Right.
But it took me the longest time. When I really started noticing the changes, when I started publicly speaking about my faith. And there's two gentlemen in the chat that are in, well, one's my husband, and then Dave, and they're both in here on Mondays, and I will talk about God, and I'm like, you know what, it's, I'm sorry, but I'm not sorry. And once I started doing that, I was like, wow, like I really did this. I did it once, and then it was like, oh, I'm going to continue to share.
Yes.
So, looking at those eyeballs, but making it, not that I want to take away of what you're feeling, but giving you another perspective to say, maybe those eyes are meaning it's your time to shine. It's your time to say, okay, Tina, it's time for you to get out. Time for you to do something. That you just, continue small steps. It's not about a giant leap. It's these small steps. When you take these small steps, we take small steps to progression. It's all about progress. We don't want you to
Yeah.
take this giant leap, and then all of a sudden you take a giant leap, and then boom, and then you revert back.
Yeah.
You have to do things that feel safe within your nervous system to continue to come out.
No, I love that. I love that. And that's what I sense with the big circle too, like that one coming out. It's like maybe possibly an eyeball coming out.
Yeah. One less person looking at me, or one less person being critical of me. And I like that that's kind of where you were, shifting, that there of, maybe it's not 1 foot in, 1 foot out. Maybe it is an eyeball coming out, one less person, one less eyeball on me.
Yeah, I love that.
But really looking at where, a lot of times we don't see our own growth because we're in it. But when you look at and you say, okay, look at the things that you're doing. One of the greatest things is you're here. We're live. You're doing this. Whether I have one person, no people, 2 people, 50, you're here. You're sharing. That is huge for you.
Yeah, it is.
That's huge for you. Absolutely. And I want to acknowledge that, because that is huge. Doing your videos is another thing.
Yeah.
You're showing your face more and more and more.
My husband and I just did a weekend seminar in South Carolina, and it was the first time really coming out as a trauma coach and sharing about trauma 101 and all of that. And, oh my gosh, scared out of my mind. But I did the work, and somebody had asked me, so how did you feel afterward? Who knows my background? And I said, I feel very confident. Like, this was accomplished, and if I did it then, this past weekend, then I can do the next one. So it's definitely given strength. And I guess what I'm desiring is to be able to not allow those eyes to have so much power. Like, it's okay for the eyes to be there, but just not to have power. Yeah.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. And so how can you take power away from them?
By coming out of isolation, by coming out of the shadows, by showing up, leaning in, saying yes, allowing the opportunities that are coming to me to not sabotage them, but to lean into it, which is what I'm trying to do, even though it's difficult.
Yes.
But I'm trying. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And I acknowledge that, that's bravery.
Mm-hmm.
And coming out and doing the things that you're doing. And that goes back to small steps. It goes back to small steps, and going back to look at your growth. And when you ever question your growth, look at all the things that you've accomplished so far.
Yeah. Yeah. I appreciate
and
that.
really saying, you're welcome, and really saying, wow, I can do this.
Mm-hmm.
And it's okay if you stumble.
Yeah. Yeah. That's another thing. Yeah. Because the whole thing with eyes is that you're going to mess up. You're going to fail. You're not going to be good enough at whatever it is you're doing. But to be able to give yourself the permission,
Yes.
that, okay, if I mess up, like those eyes ain't going anywhere. Neither am I.
Nope.
I'll just get back up and get at it again.
And if I would have, there's times I get on my lives and I especially on my Monday nights, I get on there and I forget what I'm talking about. And I was like, oh, guys, like I'm answering a question. I forget what I'm talking about. Or like I'm looking out the window because, like a car drove by and I was like, oh, I totally forget what I was talking about. And they're like, I'm like, well, sorry, it'll come back to me in a minute or two. And I go on and then it comes back to me. When I first started doing that, I was so embarrassed. I was like, oh my goodness, like this is not good.
Yeah.
This is showing something about me that I didn't like. And it brought up a lot of
Mm,
shame for me, like because all eyes are on me. And I was like, oh yeah, I don't like this at all. Well, then I started embracing it. And here's why. I started embracing all of my flaws when I was doing my lives because I'm like, I know I'm not the only one. When I'd get
correct.
on here and I'd forget and I'd say, you know what, you're going to love me flaws and all. If you don't, well, then my life's not the right place for you. And people can relate to that.
Yes.
And so I always say, you know what, I may not have it all together, but I try to have it all together. And sometimes I'm on here and I was like, yep, I don't remember what I was going to say, but oh well. And people see that. And again, they can relate to that. And so
Yeah.
I think you're doing a wonderful job. I think you really are trying to come out and slowly
Yeah.
transition because
That's what I
remember,
see this one right here doing.
yep, yes,
Slow
and I love that.
transition.
Yep, yep, and I love that because remember, we have to do what our nervous system, what we feel within our nervous system and things like that too. So, all right. Thank you for sharing that. So I'm going to read this other. So my husband put again, or maybe it's new beginnings and one part of your life is nearing a new journey and the other two are still growing and preparing to go out soon. I like his perspectives.
I love that. I appreciate that. Yeah.
So how do you feel now with all of everything?
At peace.
Oh, good,
Yeah. Yeah, just at peace and settled.
good.
Yeah, because initially I look at those eyes like, whoa, they're kind of
Yep,
big.
yep.
They don't look as they don't look as big as they did at the beginning.
Very good. Yes, yes. Yeah, make yourself bigger and those not as big.
That's
Yeah.
correct.
Well, I love that. All right. So the next phase, if you're ready, the next phase is coloring.
Okay.
So I would say your drawing is pretty not big, but it's you could probably use 4 colors if you wanted. You can use more. I would
Okay.
recommend 4. Um, maybe 5 depending on how many circles. Some people like to I'll kind of give you the lowdown on how we color. So colors represent emotions. So
Okay.
when you go to pick up a new color, just let me know. And that way there I'll know when you change color so I can ask questions and stuff like that when it comes to color. Um, excuse me. Your fragments are the pieces within. So your fragments are the different pieces. The
Okay.
lines, like the different boxes, just say the different boxes,
Got
they're
it.
all different sizes. That's what we call fragments. You need to color at least 3 of those together, 3 or
Okay.
4 of them, whatever you choose before. So you can't have 4 all different colors all in the same circle. If you're doing like, for instance, okay, so let's say your big circle. Your big
Okay.
circle, because it's a circle, you could color that inside of that circle all one color if you wanted. Yep.
Got
Or
it.
you could color that whole inside of your circle one color, and then the 3 other circles, you could color 3 other colors if you wanted.
Got
Yep,
it.
yep.
Got it.
But yeah, so however you want to color it.
And
Go ahead.
and
You
then
had a
are we
question?
coloring this or coloring the circles only?
You're gonna color everything.
Oh, wow.
Yep, you're gonna color everything. And so it's kind of entirely up to you. What I like to do is I like to just lay out all my colors and randomly pick them, close my eyes and randomly pick because intuitively what's going to happen is you're picking what the subconscious wants you to pick and you're going to draw where the subconscious wants you to draw. It's kind of interesting. If I had to pick with my eyes open, I would continue to pick the same colors.
Understood.
And I
Okay.
was like, yep. So yeah. The only color I would recommend do not use black. That's
Okay.
the only color. Normally we
And only
would
4
just do
colors.
black. Yeah, you can do more than that because you do have more circles, but whatever you would like to do.
Okay.
Yep. And I would just pick one at a time.
Oh, 1 at a time. Okay.
Yes.
Don't pick out the 4.
Yep. No, not yet. Nope.
Okay. All right, so I'm not looking. Okay.
What color did you choose?
Red, it looks
Red.
like.
All right.
Oh, actually, it's red orange.
Okay. And where are you coloring?
The big circle.
Okay. And emotion-wise, what's coming up for you as you draw that big circle?
Those tingly things are happening again.
Okay.
It's so funny. As soon as my pen or pencil hits the paper, it's tingles.
Yep. That's all right. That's the energy. And that's where you're feeling it. So whatever's going on in that circle or whatever's going on in that paper, you're getting that somatic feeling in your body. So it's correlating where you're feeling that.
Hmm.
And so what comes to mind for me is that if you're getting tingles kind of all over your body and you're representing that those are eyes, kind of like people are looking at you, and then, people are kind of looking at you and that's the feeling you're getting like, oh, so,
Got it.
and it could go either way.
Got it.
Are people looking at you and you're getting tingles in a good way, or people looking at you and you're getting tingles in a bad way? But
Yeah,
let's hope it's more of a good thing.
I gotcha. Uh-oh. I'm gonna have to get my computer cord. I didn't think about that.
Whoops. That's all
Goodness.
right.
I'm so sorry.
That's all right.
I don't want this dying on us.
No.
Okay, I'll be right back.
All right. I'll be here. So how is everybody on this Wednesday? Everybody doing good? Oh, that's funny, Dave. You and I were thinking the same thing. I'm actually doing really good. Learned some things today in earlier, and where I got my certification from. I was actually the client today, and I learned some things. And so I don't want to take away from Tina's session. So I will probably discuss that on Monday if I think about what ended up coming up. But
You could go ahead. It's okay.
are you sure? I don't want to
Yeah.
and so, because I don't want it to influence your drawing. That's why it's like, I don't want to bring it up. But anyway, so I'm doing good. But what ended up happening is we had a situation with one of my son's teachers. And so I brought that up as I was the client today at GTI, where Tina and I got our certifications, and just the things that were brought to my mind were like, holy mackerel. You never, even though you can do this stuff for years, but I didn't see the side of it that was brought to my attention, and that was the grooming.
Hmm.
And I was like, oh, yeah. So I made like lots of notes and things like that. And I was like, God knows what you need, when you need it, and at what time you need it. And, and I thought, oh, that situation just didn't sit well with me. And so I was just like, wow, okay. That was an eye opener for me. But other than that, I'm doing good. It's a glorious Wednesday. I keep wanting to say it's Thursday, but I'm like, no, it's Wednesday. It's Wednesday. The sun's shining. I'm here. God woke me up this morning. So
It's a beautiful morning.
it is. It is. Been doing a lot to revamp my website and get some things together. So I'm doing really good, Dave. So thank you for asking. Have you been fishing, Dave? Oh boy, Scott's down at Bass Pro Shops. Oh boy. All right. So what color did you pick another color?
I was supposed to tell you. I'm so
All right.
sorry.
That's all right. What did you pick? Is that yellow? Oh,
Yellow.
you yeah. Okay, that's all right.
Yellow, pink, and green. I apologize. I forgot.
All right. So before you move on, did any of those resemble anything? Did you feel anything, or you may have went through them so quick you might not have?
No, I didn't. I did not. Well, I will say this though, which I thought was interesting. I definitely wouldn't know what the green and pink is about, but yellow is my favorite color.
Okay.
And I didn't choose that. I just, that's what I grabbed.
Yep.
And it's my favorite color, and it's the one that's coming out. And what I noticed too is that this right here, I colored the same as this. So this one's actually transforming, which I thought was interesting. Yeah, that
So
was not intentional.
No, isn't that cool? So you would see that the yellow as transforming out.
Yeah, like you said, you actually used the word transitioning. And that's what I see, like a transforming, transitioning, changing.
Yep.
Whatever's in that red, that's still a part of that, but it's changing.
So who do you think, or not? I was going to say, who do you think that represents? What or who do you think that represents? Do you have any idea?
Well, the yellow for me represents joy and happiness and peace. And I think of the Son of Righteousness with healing in his wings. That's Micah 4, I believe. And so she'll arise with healing in its wings. And then you think of what we've been talking about. Yellow is light, so the shining piece, which is interesting. Yeah.
So would you say that could be you?
Yeah, I think so. There's something about that red circle.
Yep.
There's something about that red circle and me like, we're not going to stay here anymore.
Nope. Nope.
Interesting.
That's interesting. It is. Yep. What I love about this is even if, the drawing tells a story. It tells our story. And so maybe that big circle is all of the stuff that you're going through. And now that yellow piece of you transitioning, transforming, saying, no, I've had enough. I'm out of here. I'm slowly transitioning out.
Yeah, I love it.
Yes. Yes.
So I'm switching to orange.
Okay.
And big eye is what's being colored.
Okay.
By the way, I hope this is not going to interrupt a whole lot, but my husband, I'm actually in front of our bathroom door. He's like, I need to get myself together.
Aw.
So is it okay if he passes through?
Sure. Absolutely.
Okay. I'm just going to send a little note.
He can wave and say hi.
Okay. Okay.
I don't mind. As long as he doesn't mind coming through and being on camera for a minute, I don't mind.
Okay. Now the other eye should have another color as well, right?
If that's what you'd like, yes.
Or not. Yeah.
Whatever you would like. Whatever your body speaks to you as you're
Got it.
doing it. Yep.
Got it.
As you're drawing those eyes or eye, or what do you feel?
I definitely have the sense to draw to the same color because
Okay.
I feel that this is very much one thing and not
Okay.
something separate. Um, hmm. Just thinking about what we've learned concerning IFS and like
Yes.
into the parts. I'm kind of wondering if the 3 circles within the big circle might be actual parts that are making their way out. And maybe that's what's being protected
Yes.
of not wanting to come out, but when the time is right, when there's comfortable feeling. And as far as the eyes, I'm unsure of that.
Okay.
I just know it's one piece.
Yes. So you don't feel anything. You don't feel any feelings, emotions, nothing with that one.
No, but I do notice that one eye is bigger than the other,
Yep.
which very much looks like I'm looking at you,
Yep.
you know?
Yep. Yep.
Um, it does make me feel a little uncomfortable,
Okay.
like I got my eye on you,
Yep.
But then there's also this, well, that's okay because you see me shining in here and coming out of my stuff.
Yep. I like that.
Yeah. So do we color the other? Oh, I forgot all about my other circle.
Oh, the one
This
way up in the corner?
Yeah, this one's not being focused on at all.
Nope.
This one's just
Yep.
flying somewhere.
Yep, it was. So yeah, so that just goes to show you that circle's there, but it may not have any meaning right now. The other ones are where your focal point was. That's really something, yeah. That interesting?
Yeah, that's very
Yeah.
interesting because that
Yeah.
one's just, I haven't even
Yeah, you
talked
haven't even
about
spoke
that
about
one.
that. No, you have not. No. That one's just stuck up in the corner. Yep. Yep.
Those hidden
So
parts. Okay. Interesting. Brown
brown.
for the eye. I mean, not for the eye, but for the other circle.
Okay.
Darker color. What would brown represent?
You have no idea what you don't have any idea.
I really
So,
don't.
yeah. So, so brown could be a number of things. Brown could be dirt, it could be grounding. Um, Boundaries.
Hmm. Interesting.
Yep. Just really depends on what you feel it is. I mean, even though those are some of the what it could mean. There's some people that I have clients that use brown and they cry. I have some people that use it and they're happy. Some people use it and they're just like, holy smokes. But it goes with whatever color, because what the color represents is obviously emotions, but it's emotions within that moment. And so there's not really a whole lot of what it means, because it means something different for everybody else.
Correct. How does that work with you not actually intentionally choosing a color, knowing how that's connected to emotion, versus if I was like, you know what, I want this to be this.
Because then if you're doing that, you're not intuitively doing it.
Okay.
If you're picking and choosing the colors and choosing where they go, you're not really intuitively doing it.
Got it. Got
And
it.
so when we blind pick, it's kind of when you pick it, it's kind of like our subconscious knows what we're picking, and then you kind of scan the paper and say, okay, as you're scanning your drawing, and you'll say, where do I want this to go? And then usually draw where it needs to go.
Hmm.
But you don't really realize that where it needs to go until I start asking the questions of, what are you feeling? How is
Got it.
that connected? And you're like, well, wait a
Got it.
minute. And then you're like, wow. And it's kind of the reflection, the integration type process as we go through, even though integration's at the end, but it's still integrating things that we're doing within the drawing and things like that too. And so,
Got it.
so when you do it next time, do it with, don't close your eyes when you pick your colors, and see how your drawing turns out. See the difference.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
So
And
I
see
can look at them and just grab.
yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah. Yep.
So do I start now on the outside?
Yes.
And you said on the outside, I need to have at least 3 together of the same
So
color?
on the outside, yes. So on the outside, let me see your drawing again. Yep. So every fragment, let me see. Yep. So you're going to have to, because yours are pretty big. Yep. So that would be considered one big fragment. That's a fragment. Yep. So you'll have to color at least 3 of them together.
Got it.
Yep. Because I'm not going to show you how to separate them right now. I'll show you that separately at another time. We'll meet again or whatever, and I'll show you how to do that. So you
Sure.
do them. But yeah. So for right now, I would just draw at least 3 of them the same color.
Okay. So with neurosomatics and coloring, does this bring out more of a creative piece from an individual as well?
When you're coloring,
Mm-hmm.
so it does. It's interesting because it'll bring out, not only does it bring out like the emotions associated with the color, but then there's all kinds of things that people want to do with color. And sometimes you'll find out that you draw and you want to draw maybe a circle, you want to draw it 2 different colors.
Got it.
And that's okay too. Sometimes they'll shade differently.
Got it.
So I had to look in my book too. So brown represents regulation too.
Hmm.
So grounding, regulation, and all that, which I thought was interesting. So
Maybe
it's
that's
kind of
why I didn't
interesting.
need.
Yeah. It's kind of up there in the corner, like, hey, I'm over here. I'm regulating this part of the drawing. Oh, How do you feel drawing the outside?
It's calming. I don't
Okay.
have as much tingly. It's still
Okay.
there, but it's
Okay.
very light.
Okay.
It when I was doing the circles, it was like extreme. I was
Yes.
like, wow, like I can like sleepy kind of.
Yep.
But the outside, it's very it's slightly there, but
Okay.
interesting.
That is. How are you feeling as you're not feeling, but do you have any thoughts that are coming up as you're coloring the background?
I am noticing that the colors that are being chosen on the outside assimilate the colors that are in the circles.
Hmm. Interesting.
Yeah. There's one different color that was not used in the circles. But I thought that was like, huh.
That is.
What have you come to find? Like when the circle colors leak over to the more open fragments.
So let me share a drawing that I did and kind of show you a little bit what I ended up. So just show you this really quick, and that's maybe will help. So I did this one, and this is another release. And so I was actually doing one on anxiety. And so I just wanted to color the anxiety in the center. And all of a sudden I started realizing that I got like this urge to color the whole thing. So it was like anxiety was just coming all the way out. And so it's kind of overflowing. Like we want it to come out. We want it, because what's happening is that when we are connecting all of these lines from left to right, we're
Yeah.
actually connecting them to the outside world. So we're giving whatever we're going through, we're giving it to the outside world. And so I was working on, my topic was anxiety, and some people look at this and say it looks like an eyeball, and it does. I mean, it looks just like an eyeball. Well,
Looks like a baby too in the middle.
yep. Well, see, this will blow your mind. I was like, okay, I want to work on this and figure out where my anxiety is coming from. Where is this? And this is what I drew. This is actually the womb. So it's interesting you said that, because that's exactly what it said to me. Was this was the womb. This was me and my mom. And this was everything else on the outside. And my anxiety was deep rooted in me in the womb. And so it's trying to come out. Well, it's interesting because even though this was me in the womb anxiety, my my yellow represents God. So God was there. So it was God, bravery. I don't remember what the other ones were. God, bravery, protection, and sky.
Hmm.
So red was the baby, pink was the anxiety being released out. The yellow is God's protection. The purple was bravery. And the orange was protection. And then it was just like, this was the sky. I don't know. That's just but it was just interesting.
Orange is protection.
Yeah.
My
That's
eyes
what
are.
that's what that's what it felt like to me. That's what came up to me was
Wow.
orange was protection. Yep.
Wow. So
For
we'll be
me.
going over the colors too.
So the colors, no. So the colors are just whatever you represent them to be.
Got it.
Yep. Although there is a way you can look at the colors represent like water, fire, earth. That's kind of how they break them down.
Got it.
But that's really when you get into depth into a lot of different other frameworks. I don't focus on that
Yeah.
because it's all about I feel like that's kind of persuading what your subconscious really wants, what your body is trying to speak. And if I'm saying, oh, well, red means fire, well, okay, red could mean love. Red could mean hate. We have no idea. But what does your body say that red means? I don't want to influence you in a different way than what your body wants. And so
Makes
that's how it
total
works.
sense.
Yep. Yep. So yeah, so it's interesting because it made me understand that, wow, okay, I've had this problem. This is an intergenerational thing. And so, looking at things like that too. So I was like, oh wow, interesting.
That's an amazing drawing, actually. It seems like that's a different type of art as our neuro lines as well.
Yes. So that one that I showed you, so this one was actually, it's different. So this one was actually a spiral. It's a release.
Okay.
And so basically what we're doing is we start in the center with what is your blocker limitation.
Okay.
And then the spirals represent each thing that's hindering you from what is it, like for me, what is it that anxiety is hindering me? Like what is fueling it?
Correct.
And so but it was interesting when I colored them. It was interesting that it all came back to different, like it wasn't, if one thing was this, oh, it's keeping me from doing public speaking, just say, or doing this, this, and this. But it was like all of my colors were different. They were all about bravery and protection and God seeing me and protecting me. And I was like, oh, that's pretty interesting. So yeah, so I just thought it was interesting. I was like, oh yeah. So this is one of the 30-minute drawings. Now, if I would did this and turned it into into probably an hour or two drawing, there would have been a lot more intuitive lines in it. But the reason I didn't is because I wanted the center focal. I wanted you to be able to see when you looked at it what you were looking at instead of it being drawn out by and closed in by all of the intuitive lines.
Got it. Okay, I think my masterpiece is complete.
All right. Oh, look at that. Very nice. I like that.
And I find it interesting. This color is the same as this one. This is same as that one. And this one is the same as that one. It's around the eye area.
Mm-hmm. And so looking at it, what I can interpret from, looking at your drawing would be whoops. Sorry, my other alarm's going off from my other client that I have. Is for me, what I'm looking at is, if you feel like that is truly you transitioning out, then what it is you're transitioning not out but up. And so you're transitioning to say, you know what, those eyes can look at me, but I'm protected. I'm going to be who I am no matter what. And so those eyes will slowly shut because now Tina's coming out.
Interesting. Yeah, you're right. It is up.
Yep. Yeah.
And it's towards the eyes.
Yep. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. And so in the other colors, if you're thinking along the the lines of parts, it would be to go and as you stare at the not stare, but as you look at the drawing over the next couple of days, is to really look at what's coming up. What if it could be parts, what part of me is coming up in those? What parts of me are feeling like I feel when the eyes look at me? What are those parts that want me to see them?
Yeah.
That I can work on them so they can come out of whatever that circle represents. We'll just call it like maybe a chaos right now or whatever you want to call it. Whatever stumbling block of coming out and working on those. And so it could be that, when you colored those circles inside and now out, that is a representation of you will eventually get out. And if they're around the eyes per se, that part is going to shadow and overcome whatever the eyes are trying to do for you.
I could see that for sure. Yeah, it's almost like the giant, David and Goliath.
Yeah.
That's the
Yes.
those
Yes.
eyes are giant.
Yes. Yes.
Mhm.
Yes. And,
I
and
appreciate
then, oh, you're welcome. And then as you look at it over the next couple of days, just kind of reflect on it. Like, what is it? And you may start noticing that those eyes, even though they look big right now, but you may notice, wow, those eyes really don't look so big.
Yeah.
Those eyes are shrinking and I'm getting bigger.
Mm. Mhm.
And
Yeah.
things like that, and really really use it as a reflection point for yourself. And so I would recommend, every couple of days or every day, maybe a couple times a day, kind of looking at your drawing, holding it up in a different way instead of holding it flat. When we look at it flat on a surface, it looks different than if we hold it straight out in front of us. Hold it straight out in front of you, look at it from a different angle, hold it out to the side, kind of see, and then kind of look at it and say, okay, what is it about this drawing, and stuff. Because when you go to buy a car, you surely don't look at it at just one angle. You go
Correct.
around the whole thing and you're looking to see the different angles of the car. And so it's
Correct.
the same thing with the drawing. Go in and look at it from different angles and say, okay, let me see what this angle does for me versus this angle. And it's totally different. Totally different.
Since you just said that, he looked at it differently, and these eyes actually look like they're coming out of this. You see that?
Hmm.
Whatever that means.
Yeah. Yep. That is cool. That's interesting. Yeah.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Oh, it's my pleasure. I am so glad. So how do you feel? How do you feel overall?
Relaxed,
Okay.
um, and definitely grateful to know that transformation is happening, um, in the midst of internal criticism, internal and external criticism. I'm not saying that people are being critical, but just my view and perception of
Yes,
others looking at me. Um, in the middle of all that, that there is transformation happening, and that's a great thing. Yeah.
absolutely. Absolutely. And make
Mhm.
sure that you, again, go back and jot down your growth,
Yeah.
all of the things that you're doing to show, because we can talk about it all day long, but until you have it on pen and paper and you're literally can physically see it and you have that tangible proof of what you're
Yes.
reading, it changes something about us. It changes the perspective about things. And you're like, whoa, wait a minute. So, really take that in consideration too. And then I
Yeah.
think it'll start changing your nervous system and the inner critic because you're doing it.
Got it. I appreciate it.
Oh, you are more than welcome. Um, if you have any questions, you know how to get a hold of me,
Yes.
um, and anything like that. So, all right. So I'll take you backstage here in just a second. All right, everyone, that concludes our neurosomatic drawing. Thank you so much for being here. I really appreciate each and every one of you for being here, for hanging out with Tina and I, as we, as I guided, and thank you for her for sharing her insights, being very transparent with us today, and really opening up to see exactly how neurosomatic art can help you on your healing journey, on your transformational journey. It's not just for trauma and mental health. It's, a goal setting. If there's a goal that you want to reach, it's actually good for that as well. Good for revealing and things like that. I will catch you again on all of my magnificent warriors. I will catch you again on Monday. I'm going to take a break tomorrow and kind of revamp some things. Monday, 7:30 p.m. Eastern. We will see you there. Our topic will be about panic disorder. What is panic disorder? How to overcome panic disorder, and things like that too. And so we will share some experiences and things like that, and some education and things like that. So I hope each and every one of you have a fabulous Wednesday, a blessed week, and we will see you again on Monday. Have a good night, everyone, or a good afternoon, everyone. Bye-bye.